Good afternoon.
Welcome back. We'll start with the Lord's Prayer, please. Okay, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Right, today we're going to start with our Stars of the Week, class by class, and we'll have a huge round of applause after each person. Okay? Starting with pre-prayer. Mrs. Campbell has chosen Tobin for an amazing painting of a jungle in the style of Henri Rousseau, and for generally working so hard all week. Well done, Tobin. Prep 1 goes to Harrison for showing outstanding effort with his learning and wonderful progress with his readers. Mrs. Sanders particularly enjoyed the joke board and the huge biscuit of Great Britain. Well done, Harrison. Prep 2 goes to Hugh. He produced a fantastic report about Adelie penguins, accompanied by a brilliant video presentation. Well done, Hugh. Prep 3 goes to Seb for excellent work at home, particularly with his reading and writing. Well done, Seb. Prep 4 goes to Beth. Mrs. Donovan really loved your 3D model of an Anderson shelter, and your rhyming poems fantastic too. Well done, Beth. Prep 5 goes to Alex for really excellent maths work. Well done, Alex. Prep 6 goes to Jeremy for an outstanding persuasive letter to free Buckbeak from execution. Mrs. Bradbury says, well done, Jeremy. You're an inspiration to your fellow pupils. Well done, Jeremy. Right. First opportunity to sing now, and we're going to do some birthdays. This week we are celebrating the birthdays of Elsa, Villager, and Miss Carver. Okay, so when we get to the complicated bit at the end, we'll sing to all of you. Okay, short intro. Chosen by Connie and read by Connie.
7 verses 1 to 24. Don't be worried on account of the wicked. Don't be jealous of those who do wrong. They will soon disappear like grass that dries up. They will die like plants that wither. Trust in the Lord and do good. Live in the land and be safe. Seek your happiness in the Lord, and he will give you Don't give in to worry or anger, it only leads to trouble. Those who trust in the Lord will possess the land, but the wicked will be driven out. Soon the wicked will disappear. You may look for them, but you won't find them. The humble will possess the land and enjoy prosperity and peace. The wicked plot against the good people and glare at them with hate, but the Lord laughs at the wicked people, because he knows they will soon be destroyed. The wicked draw their swords and bend their bows and kill the poor and needy, to slaughter those who do what is right. But they will be killed by their own swords, and their bows will be smashed. The little that a good person owns is worth more than the wealth of all the wicked, because the Lord will take away the strength of the wicked, but protect those who are good. The Lord takes care of those who obey them, and the land will be theirs forever. They will not suffer when times are bad, they will have enough in time of famine, but the wicked will die. The enemies of the Lord will vanish like wild flowers, they will disappear like smoke. The wicked borrow and never pay back, but good people are generous with their gifts. Those who are blessed by the Lord will possess the land, but those who are cursed by him will be driven out. The Lord guides people in the way they should go, and protects those who please him. If they fall, they will not stay down, because the Lord will help them up.
The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Thank you, Connie. That was a beautiful reading, beautifully read. It's a very useful reading because it leads on very well from where we were up to last week. Do you remember last week I asked you if you'd ever experienced it when somebody had been a bit unkind to you? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh, some of you do, thank you. Now, have you ever seen somebody being a little bit naughty and seeing them get away with it? Have you ever seen that? Put your hands up if you have. Thank you. Not sure down here. Very good, thank you. Hands down. Have you ever felt like saying, that's not fair, when you see something like that? Anybody felt like that? Put your hands up. Yes. That's not fair. Oh, well done you. Yes. That's what the reading is all about, really. I remember when I very first passed my driving test and I really wanted to go on the motorway, because you can't go on the motorway until you pass your test. Does anybody know what the speed limit is on the motorway? A bit more than 40. Up a little bit. A bit more. Negative.
110.
So it might be sort of in kilometres near there. 70 miles an hour. 70 miles an hour. So, quite a long time ago, I passed my test and I took my pride and joy, my brown Triumph Dolomite, which was about 20 years at least old then, onto the motorway, and I was very keen to see how fast it would go. And after a little while, I did manage to get up to the speed limit of 70 miles an hour. I got a little bit over, which was naughty. Then two things happened. A very big, shiny BMW went flying past me. I don't know how fast he was going, probably 100 miles an hour. And I thought, wow, I wish my little Triumph Dolomite would go that fast. And then the next thing that happens, a police car comes up behind me, flashes his lights at me and makes me pull over. He wanted to tell me off for going a little bit too fast. And I said, but did you not see that BMW? And I said, this isn't fair. Now, it didn't help me. In fact, it made the policeman a little bit grumpy. So the message from today's reading, I think, is that we shouldn't try and get our own back. We don't need to point the finger and say, that isn't fair, because it doesn't work. Can anybody tell me who wrote the psalm that we heard? Anybody out inside the land. I'll have to go to Mrs. Bradbury, who wrote the psalm we heard. Aha! David. George, you knew that, if you can hear me. Now, we know from a little bit after Connie's reading that David wrote this when he was quite elderly. So I like to think of this piece as being advice from an old and wise person to young people. A bit like you, educating young people. It also reminds me of another story about somebody a bit older and wiser helping a younger person. That tune I was playing when you came in, does anybody know what that is? Ezra. Anybody else? Yes. Masha and the Bear. Well done. Now, Masha, I think you'll agree, is a little bit naughty and sometimes gets in trouble. But her friends, the much older, much wiser, much more experienced bear, helps her get out of trouble or avoid trouble. And I know this because I was watching it yesterday. So we've got a bear helping to guide us, we've got God helping to guide us, and you have your mummies and daddies and your teachers as well, guiding you. Now, we're going to close with a hymn. I wanted to say a reminder about assembly next week. So whole school assembly next week will be on Thursday, because Friday is a bank holiday when we celebrate the end of World War II. I'll speak more about this on Thursday, but on Friday we would like you to send in your photos to your teachers of all the sorts of things you get up to in celebrating VE Day, whether that's dressing up, 1940s costumes, or cooking some 1940s food maybe. And we're going to have a little competition. And we'll announce the winners of that the week after. Okay? So now we're going to close with a hymn. Nice big noise, please. You should know this. We hope you know it. At the name of Jesus. If you don't, just sing along. And after the hymn, while you guys leave the hall, I'm going to play you another tune as you leave. And I heard this song yesterday when I was watching Masha and the Bear. It's one of my favourite songs. I'm going to leave it to you to work out what it is, but it's a message. And the message is that this song reminds me of how I feel about you, all your mummies and daddies, all our teachers, and everyone in the NHS. Let's sing.